Hey everybody, this here is my first ceiling fan find of 2024. Um, yeah, this is a Sears ceiling fan. It is not an Emerson 1895 series, which some of you may be thinking. This is a Sears model. I believe it was made with Emerson parts, but it doesn't have an Emerson motor. It has a CEI motor. It's a spinner motor. So I think it's a little bit later than the Emerson versions. I'm not entirely sure when this one would have come out, but I'm guessing probably the mid to late 80s, possibly early 90s. Um, Actually, probably more so the late 80s, early 90s, because I think towards the end, in the mid 80s, Emerson was still making the 1895 series. But anyway, this one came from Facebook Marketplace. It was was kept in really good condition. Whoever had it last took really good care of it. The only thing I had to do was flip the blades over. The blades were they're reversible from stencil to plane, and they had the plane side showing. And of course, you need to have the stencil side showing because that's what makes it so cool, in my opinion. But yeah, it's all polished brass. It has the nose cap, which is really nice. I don't yet have a polished brass 1895 type nose cap, or Emerson type for that matter. Um, yeah, it's 42 inches, so it's smaller than the typical 1895 series, although there were 42-inch versions of the 1895 series from a little bit earlier that did have KB55 motors, and that were actually labeled Emerson. But as far as I know, Sears never produced a version like that, a 42-inch version with the KB55 motor. All of Sears's versions were this version with the CEI spinner motor. Um, so yeah, it also has the traditional ball socket canopy instead of the earlier tuna can canopy. Another hint as to why I think this is from a little bit later. And it is similar to the polished brass 1895 series that I have. Um, it's got, I think, the same. Well, it's obviously also polished brass. It's got very similar blades, which are also stenciled. So it's basically like a smaller version of that one. The only difference is the motor. The blade arms are the same, like C-shaped style on the blade side, but on the motor side, they're of course more generic to attach to the spinner motor. Whereas on the 1895 series, the blades had that sort of like extended part that covered the flywheel because the flywheel and the motor were basically like right there on the opening in the opening of the motor. So that being said, everything is original. The pull chain extension, I'm not sure if that's original, but it came with the fan. It might be actually. It definitely matches. The wood of the pendant matches the blades. But yeah, and the reverse switch is on the side of the nose. On earlier ones, I believe it would have been on top. This fan is dated 1987. I believe it's January of 1987, and I'll show you the tag after I test the fan. So, with that being said, let's turn the fan on high speed. And I really didn't have to balance it or anything. There's like a very, very small amount of wobble, but I feel like if I put this on an actual like ceiling, like a finished ceiling, it probably wouldn't wobble at all. Yeah, I didn't have to do anything to it. It's in perfect balance from where I got it. They're perfect from the original owners. And I am highly impressed by this one, actually. I was told that the spinner motor ones weren't as good as the stack motor ones, or the KB55 motor. Um, it is moving a lot of air for a 42-inch fan, and it is very silent. I'm not hearing any like of the standard spinner motor hum. Yeah, I am impressed. I would install this one somewhere. I really like the way it looks. It's a good performer. Yeah. Right, medium speed. It's actually not like a terribly fast medium, which is kind of standard for smaller fans because they typically have the medium and low speeds a bit faster to compensate for the small size of the fan. But like this is rather nice actually. It's not too fast. It's still moving some air. It's still silent. And finally, do low. This low speed is a little bit faster than I think I'd like, but once again, it's not terribly like fast like you see on like a 36-inch fan. Or even like a modern 42-inch fan. They have pretty fast low speeds. Yeah, this is really nice. And of course you could put it on a 3-speed wall control to get even slower speeds. Or I wonder if this motor would work on a solid state. It probably would. Feeling a light breeze from it, nothing too crazy, but it's very nice. Alright, back up to high. And spin down. Okay, not a bad spin down time. I feel like whoever the previous owners that had this installed barely ran it because it's in really good condition. The bearings are really good. It's a really nice fan. So now, oh, actually, what am I doing? What am I doing? We got to do reverse first. Sorry about that. 1 second. All right, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what I was thinking there, but let's find the reverse switch and turn it to low. And it is recording good. Sometimes I will forget to hit record and then start going, and then I completely lose track of everything. Okay, so there's a low speed in reverse. Up to medium. I can't tell if that's a little bit faster or not. Looks like it might be a little bit faster. And high. And there's just a little bit more wobble. reverse than there is in forward. Alright. Whoa. There we go. Okay, now we can do the close-up view. So here we go. The fan, motor. They're really nice. The polished brass finish is in really nice condition. It's not tarnished or rusted or anything like that. Nose cap in very good condition. The reverse switch is on here, the side of the nose, and the pull chain is not an arcless. It's like a later generic, like Chinese pull chain. Another clue that puts this one a little bit later, probably more towards the mid-90s actually. But anyway, stencil blades, very nice. I love stencil blades. And the blade arms, which are the standard Emerson 1895 C shape, and then the generic traditional motor mount style. And then you can see the CEI motor with the circular vents there, which is a characteristic. It's a rather large motor, I have to say. There's also no vent screen in here for some reason. I don't know if that was originally there and removed, or if these just didn't come with vent screen because they were a little bit cheaper. But the motor is fairly large. On top of the motor, there are no vents on top, which is kind of interesting. The 52-inch version has some vents towards the middle. But here is first of all, here's the date tag that has the date code on it. 1987, January of 1987. Made in Taiwan. And then the other sticker with the model information is right here. Sears Roebuck Company. And what is this one's model number? Let's see. It is, if it would focus, model 689.114302. Okay, Sears logo. The down rod's a little tarnished, but that's not a huge deal. Canopy's still in good condition. So, yeah, I think that's just about it for this video. So that is the Sears, made by CEI. I guess you could call this the 1895 ceiling fan. So thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will be back for plenty of new videos. So thank you guys for watching as always, and more to come.